Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Founders Feature. And today we have with us the co-founder CEO of Smart Parcel, Benjamin Adeyemo. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so Benjamin, can you tell us a bit about your background, the motivation for doing what you're doing and all?
All right. So my background, I have a BSc in accounting and taxation and an MSc in investment management. In my former life, I used to be involved in building smart cities. So we had projects with Lagos State Government, Osun State Government, or Oyo State Government. So if you do a deep dive into smart cities, it's just smart communal living in polycentric patterned development. So there's the smart mobility, there's the e-governance, there's the smart people, there's the Internet of Things, and a whole lot of other things. So for us, we decided to focus more on the IoT and specifically logistics. Now, so we started to look at the problems around logistics. If you look generally for any country, logistics accounts for 10% of the GDP of any country. So Nigeria, for example, with a GDP of $440 billion, you have the GDP of Nigeria to be at a minimum $44 billion. So, and logistics, there are several challenges facing logistics. There's the poor addressing system. Typically in Nigeria, you see people using roof colors, woman frying akara by the junction, green church, the mosque to describe the addressing system. There's also the part where people often have altercations with dispatch riders. You never come, you don't deliver and all of that. There's also the portion where people that live in polycentric pattern developments, that means gated estates, are often having issues sending codes to the dispatch riders. Sometimes we delay these dispatch riders as well. They are human beings as well. They can't, many of them come online to complain, but we complain when they, delay our deliveries. There's also the issue where, you have deliveries being mixed up. So for us, we decided to begin to use digital smart lockers to automate first and last mile delivery, and that's how we came about Smart Parcel Limited. Thank you very much.
That's great. Yeah. So what has the adoption rate, what has it been like since you started?
All right, adoption has really been great. So we designed an ecosystem around our business. So for us, we like to say there are 4 key people in the ecosystem. So the first set of people are the technology platform, and that is our core focus responsibility. We are building the technologies that power all of the smart lockers. So for us, the ultimate vision is to have 35,000 smart lockers across Africa. We have a Pan-African vision, but of course, we're starting from Lagos. We're currently in Abuja, and then it spreads across Nigeria. So that is the technology platform. The second set of people in the ecosystem are the location partners. So for us, we don't put these smart lockers at just any location. It has to be a strategic location that is easily accessible and has a good level of security, so that people can easily get access there, either to pick up or drop off their packages. So typically we have gated estates, we have banks. Our biggest location partner till date is Sterling Bank. So we have an MOU with Sterling Bank that allows us to deploy smart lockers at every and any of their branches. We also have a location partnership agreement with NIPOST. So NIPOST is the arm of the federal government that regulates, and they're also a player in the logistics sector as well. So with NIPOST, we have the ability now to deploy the smart lockers at every of the NIPOST locations, talking about all 774 local governments of Nigeria, inclusive of ministries, departments, agencies, airports. Do you get what I'm saying? So that people can have easy access to be either pick up or drop off their packages. So that takes care of the location partners. The third set of partners are the local investors. Now, recall earlier on that I mentioned 35,000 smart lockers across Africa. We do not intend to be the owners of all of these smart lockers, because in that case, we'll be too heavy on assets. So this is now open to a sort of investment franchise platform, such that individuals, corporate organizations can now own smart lockers. Now, what then happens is that there's a dashboard, and everyone can see, all of the transactions that is emanating from the smart locker that is mapped to them. So you can be a local investor, for example, of the smart locker that will be at Sterling Bank in Ikeja. And then as it's being used, you get your revenue share, Sterling gets the revenue share, Smart Parcel gets revenue share as well. someone else might also decide that, you know what, let me be the locker investor for the smart locker that will be at the Ikeja airport. You know, and in that case, that will be NIPO's location. So NIPO's also gets a revenue share for being the location partner, and then you know, it becomes seamless. Operations become seamless. The fourth set of people in the ecosystem are now the logistics, e-commerce, social commerce, and individuals that use these smart lockers. So for the logistics, for us, we like to say that we're not in business to compete with logistics guys. We are in business to even use technology to enable their business. So as against the dispatch rider having to go house by house picking up items, people living in gated estates can aggregate at a location, the smart locker location at their gated estate, and then you have the dispatch person come either 2-3 times in a day, depending on the traffic, to come and mop up an entire locker. So in that way, there's that smart living of doing things such that the dispatch riders are not moving zigzag and constituting a nuisance. Do you get what I'm saying? So before you go to pick up from a smart locker, for example, as a logistics that you are integrated in our platform, you can see that, okay, for the smart locker at VGC, for example, there are 14 items. 7 is on the island, 7 is going to the mainland. Of the 7 that's going to mainland, 3 is going towards Bagada. You get what I'm saying? And then the remaining 4 is going towards Ikeja K2 access. You get what I'm saying? So there's that planning that they can do. For the e-commerce as well, you know, you have the Jumias and the Kungas that they have a more structured way of doing things in their business. So this will also help them to seamlessly deliver items to their customers. So when customers are shopping online, as against putting addresses that will be confusing to the dispatch that's going to make the delivery, you just select specific smart locker locations and then they can drop off the items for them. And then once item is dropped off for you, you get a 4-digit code that you can use to go to pick up your item at your convenience. Again, you can pre-schedule, and that's one of the challenges of logistics. You have dispatch riders calling you out of the blue to say, I deal with your package. You get what I'm saying? So, but when you've pre-scheduled that, look, I want my item in the smart locker at Ikoyi location between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. So there's that time bandwidth as well, and that you can pre-schedule, and then you have your 4-digit code you can go to pick up at your convenience. The third set of people are the social commerce. These are my good friends that sell on Instagram, on Snapchat, you know, and every other social media platform. They are not as structured as the e-commerce, so they don't even have a store. But with the smart locker, there can be that peer-to-peer exchange between the seller and the buyer. And again, don't forget the smart locker is a self-service machine. So once the your vendor goes there or sends a bike rider, put up the item there, you can go there at your convenience, or also send somebody there to pick up for you at your convenience. And then of course, the individuals as well can use it as well. You can use it to send an item, just pre-register. We've built 4 layers of technology. So there's the locker app. You can walk to a locker, use a locker. We've also built a chatbot as well. I think maybe at some point we can put the numbers to for people to have easy access to the chatbot. We've also built the web platform, and then there's the mobile app as well. So all of this gives you easy access to use our smart lockers for your first and last mile logistics needs. Thank you.
Great. So you've mentioned a lot of good stuff here. What are the challenges inherent, and how have you still been able to, maintain quality of service over time?
All right. So challenges. So the first part I'd like to mention is this is a relatively new technology. I dare to say this is the first of its kind in Nigeria. So adoption, but again, what we're doing with that is to put out videos over time to just sensitize people and help them understand how to use the smart lockers. There's also the issue where people sometimes get worried about the security, that if I put my item in the smart locker, I hope it won't go good, or any issue as such. So two mitigants to that. The first is that the location partners, we don't put the smart lockers just anywhere. So we have location partners that provides us strategic locations that are safe, secured, and you can easily get access to these locations to use it. And then ultimately, of course, we have insurance that you can always select from, so that your packages are insured, you have no issues at all. And then the lockers are also insured at all of the locations that they are. Thank you.
Okay, so your message to Nigerians that want to make use of, convince them, I want to make use of your platform.
All right, so technology is really growing. E-commerce is fast growing. E-commerce, social commerce is fast growing across Nigeria, across Africa. Let's make Nigeria a much more smart city. Let's make Lagos State a much more smart city. We're gradually getting to a time where dispatch riders wouldn't be coming to people's house one after the other. So there are e-commerce platforms that spend a lot of money to be able to send out packages to their customers, and sometimes they often have to run at a loss. I know of a particular logistics company that they have a gas station right in the middle of their head office just to be able to serve their bike riders. Yes. So the smart locker helps to have a much more clean environment because it promotes aggregation. So as against each individual having to call their own dispatch rider, use the smart locker, aggregate your packages for first mile delivery and also for last mile delivery. Let me also say something interesting is that our smart lockers also help with e-governance. So we currently, one of the great things that's happening in our dear country, Nigeria, is the fact that you are now able to apply for your passports online.
Yeah.
Now, when you apply for your passports online, imagine you also now being able to have access to be able to, select a specific smart locker where you can pre-schedule the time that is most convenient for you to go and pick up your international passport from the smart locker. So for us, the smart locker just makes first and last mile logistics seamless. And plain environment, smart city.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much, Ben. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
It was such an insightful session, and I'm sure our viewers have learned more about the smart parcel.
Thank you very much.
So that will be all today. Please stay tuned to our news insights on startups in Nigeria, on the startup ecosystem generally. So till come your way next time.